You're on 88.9 Win FM, the Cheryl Lacey Show, and we have been talking all manner of things regarding the rule of law, international law, democracy, the West, and everything that we need to know. And particularly what we do need to know is what the law is so that we can follow it, question it, and keep each other to account. Speaking of which, we have got our next guest, Dr. Phillip Neely from Florida, who has just released an outstanding book available on Amazon, as it is available in many other places, no doubt. And the book is called Policing the Republic, an outstanding publication about the history of policing and what we need to do about it to ensure the rule of law continues. Phillip, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Oh, it's always good to speak with you, Phillip, and congratulations on this fantastic publication.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Look, what had you decide to write it in the first instance? I understand, for our listeners, as Doctor of Criminal Justice at St Leo University, law is your professional life, and it's also certainly what you're constantly reflecting on. However, this particular book goes back through history, looks at policy, looks at groundbreaking work, and you actually make no apology for talking about what is necessary for all of us to believe that justice and democracy can happen.
That is correct. One of the things that we want to focus on is that the world is divided by race, religion, and politics. Now we're focusing on the radical left or the right. What about the middle, where we're supposed to remain neutral as law enforcement officers? Here in the United States, we talk about our criminal justice system is being overhauled by the political games that are taking place, whether we're right or wrong. So we went through and had a debate. A good friend of mine, he's a strong Republican. He's on the right. I'm a Democrat. We're on the left. We're both professors. He was an attorney for years, practicing federal law. So we went back and forth to make sure we stayed in the middle. We took the right, the left, and we went down the middle to make sure that law enforcement can go back to being a noble service it used to be, where the laws were enforced based on the laws, not based on political ideologies or racial divisions or ethnicities. So those are the things we tried to focus on. And like I said, again, this book is designed for citizens, leaders, mostly leaders, reformers, and our officers who believe that justice and democracy are not just opposing ideas, but shared responsibilities.
The outstanding thing about that is, with shared responsibilities, you have a shared respect for one another's point of view and difference, and that means meeting in the middle. How easy do you think that is to do when laws are created by essentially political parties who do have opposing views?
Well, I think it's very easy. We just have to continue to stay focused. We have to vote. We have to make sure that law enforcement is not caught up in the political system. And that's the problem we're running into now. We got to get back with law enforcement officers, whether you're in the criminal justice system as a policeman, as a defendant or trial attorney in court, or you're working in the corrections facility. We have to make sure we remain neutral. And the way we do that is we got to continue to educate one another. The evolution of American law enforcement revealing how power, politics, and public trust have collided in the pursuit of safety of justice. And that's what we got to get back to, the pursuit of safety and justice. Not because I'm a Democrat, not because I'm a Republican, not because I did this to you and I'm going to retaliate. What is the law, and how is the law applied equally to all Americans?
That's outstanding. How is the law applied equally to all Americans? That certainly includes our political class. It includes, as you said, police officers and all people in the public service. And we're constantly seeing, however, such as the DEI movement that has been, disintegrating under President Trump. But that DEI approach was problematic. But do you think it may have been established with good intent? And again, this is why we don't have that middle ground?
I do. I think he did it in good intent. I don't think there was no ill will by taking away DEI. I just think right now in America, we said everybody should be equal now. Let's focus on your qualifications. So if we get back to the roots and the systematic inequalities, the rise of the modern enforcement in our states and the growing call for accountability, I think that is why he moved to remove DEI, not to punish one side or the other. I just think right now America's saying, okay, we don't need DEI anymore.
Excellent.
With inclusion, we all should be equal at this point.
Indeed, and I think my question more was DEI introduced to divide or to have a middle ground?
Well, I think it was introduced to have a middle ground. It was trying to help those that was marginalized to get to the position where they need to be. Because back in the day, it was about who knew who got those positions. Even now, we look at, the local government, people in positions that have never worked in law, people in positions that have never worked at Homeland Security or different fields. So DEI was created back then to make it an equal playing field. But I think now we look at the fact that we have to get away from that and say the playing field is equal. Step up to the plate and be ready to bat.
So your book, as you said, it's for decision makers. It's also for the general public. Are you on a speaking tour at the moment? How are you promoting your book?
Yeah, we're out. We're starting. We've already been out a couple of places. We'll be headed to Georgia next week to speak at a couple of places. I've spoke with a couple of police chiefs, including the Tampa police chief, who's looking at taking the book and implement it and having his entire command staff to read it. And I thought that was admirable of him. But, yeah, we're going to be doing speaking engagements. We're going to be out on the radio. We're going to be out just trying to get it out to citizens and stakeholders. When I say citizens, those stakeholders in the community that has policy abilities, where they are stakeholders. They drive policy. They drive law. They make decisions. Leaders, reformers, officers. We want everybody to get involved, so we try not to leave anybody out when we address this. And I think going on the speaking tour and telling each and every person that we come in contact with how this book would help them take away that division of race, religion, and politics in our judicial system.
And so with the police officers, that was going to be my next question. How much are they embracing the book? And you've just started that and the tour's just begun, and congratulations to you with the Tampa Police Force. I think that's a terrific start. How does the police force themselves cope with having to deal with statutory laws that they know don't result in cases going to court when they should, or the other way around, when people are indicted or there are issues that take place that shouldn't occur, statutory law gets in the way?
Yeah, I think they dislike that, but I think the book gives them remedies in order to deal with those type situations. The other guy that was actually writing with me, he's a former criminal heinous defense attorney. So we kind of went both ways and got down the middle. And I think we made enough progress where those that are reading the book can find strategies and remedies to the situations they're being faced with. Even now, we know that's going to be political prosecutions. In the state of Georgia, where I was originally born, our DA went after the president and put him in jail. Now she's losing everything. So did she do the right thing or did she do the wrong thing? We always know there's going to be objective opinions on both sides. But what we have to do, and I think the book is doing, is find that medium where we can get down the medium and get to the right way of applying the law, not based on retaliation, not based on race, not based on Democrat or political party, based on the law. Let's get back to that, where law enforcement, public service remain neutral.
Well, I can see, Phillip, you sending this book to President Trump, to all of the mayors around the United States, and hopefully to police chiefs, and perhaps, I'm not being facetious here, I hope, but people purchasing a book and paying it forward so that you get a movement going where those who have read the book and have enjoyed it and value it will purchase another copy and pass it on to somebody else. Have you thought about that process?
Yeah, and I did. The price of the book is $19.95 American dollars, $12.95 for a soft book, $19.95 for a hardcover, and it's like $9.95 for the ebook. And I tell you what, I'm glad you said that. I think I will send a copy to our president, Donald Trump. I think he'll like the book.
I think he'll love the book.
Sure that we didn't go too far left or right.
Look, it sounds as though that's exactly what you've done. You've got the right authors involved, yourself and your Republican lawyer friend and colleague, and I couldn't congratulate you more, Phillip, on this, and it's certainly a necessary publication for people to better understand policing. The Republic, the United States of America, and I look forward to finishing it. I've started the book, but to be fair, I haven't finished it, so I'll be doing that in coming days. Thank you so much for being on the show, and my congratulations to you, Phillip.
Thank you for having me. God bless you.
God bless you too. Take care.